Good morning, everyone. Today we are presenting our implement plan of Zaragoza AEAs. And there's a we are the analysis of several internal issues deflecting affecting our performance or work organization. We identify changes related to talent manager, organization structure, workplace climate, and psychical working conditions. Our primary objective was to design improvement strategies capable of transforming change in opportunities for organization group, strengthening both productivity and employee well-being.
Okay, the objective and beginning of the analysis. To conduct this research, the general objective established was to design a comprehensive improving and implementation plan for Zaragoza SAS and DERSA LTDA, support by gap analysis and diagnostic tools such as heat maps. Likewise, three specific objectives were defined: identifying the critical cause affecting operational performance and workplace coexistence. Design solution, I meant the improved job function and organizational transparency. Evaluate the existent gap between the current situation and the expect condition of both companies.
In the case of Zaragoza, the heat map highlighted high priority concerns, particularly those associated with excessive workloads, extended working hours, unjustified payroll deductions, and the deteriorating of the organizational climate. Management of time and workload distribution. Poor planning led employees to assume additional responsibilities without appropriate compensation while also working long shifts under inadequate thermal conditions.
In addition, we identify contractual and structural misalignment within the organization. The company relied on temporary and informal hiring practices without clearly establishing the responsibilities of each position. This created unclarity among employees who frequently perform duties outside the scope of their assigned roles. The absence of professional development opportunities led to demotivation and a lack of organizational community.
Based on the diagnosis, conducted several improvement strategies were proposed. First, we recommended reorganizing work schedules through planning tools that would allow a fairer distribution of workloads while respecting legally established rest periods. We also proposed improving workplace facilities through ventilation systems and adjustments aimed at reducing thermal stress. From an organizational perspective, we recommended the creating of a job functions manual, clearly defining the responsibilities of each role, accompanied by more stable contracts to strengthen employee retention.
Afterwards, we conducted a gap analysis to compare Zaragoza's current situation with the ideal state the company is expected to have. In this analysis, we identified significant differences in several aspects, such as workload, organizational structure, the physical environment, workplace climate, and team stability. The main conclusions was that the root of the problem lay in the lack of a solid organizational structure. The company did not have clear processes, well-defined roles, or stable policies that could ensure proper human talent management.
After analyzing Zaragoza, we continued with the study of DERSA, where we found similar uses. Although with particular characteristics related to employee recognition and emotional stability.
And there's a we identified problem associated with spirits, wonder constant reality of choose, and the perception and in a case, salaries compared to the level of psychological effect requires enjoy report and go as how to the eye and hierarchy in the working and distribution and sort of other chains direct effect to the personal mind and family life. Feel more aversive than the ingrained and the competent on the psychological and emotional and the relevance Jennifer and the dears consider.
Okay, development and recognitions in DERSA. Another critical issue identified was the absence of career plans and professional development programs. Employees, particularly younger workers, felt that no genuine opportunities for professional growth exist with the organizations. The company also lacked adequate onboarding process and the efficient employee recruitment strategies. The situation accelerated talent loss and witnessed organizational conmin.
Rampling to organizational client and identify the new interpersonal relationship and liver and tribal and error, the agways and character police and security chairs to report conflicts and conflict to hostile with environment. Additional to contact to any federal persons and the current operational digger of lisa and the truth and regular of state and the production process. And a result my angels we and the report is organized with ideas or more plain.
Solutions for this. As part of the improvement proposal for this, we initially suggested reorganizing students at provincial achievement and advanced after-grad workforce stability. We also proposed implementing financial incentives and performance boosters linked production goals in order to ensure compensation more proportional to the effort required. At both the organizational and human levels, we recommended continuous strengthening employee recruitment programs, career development plans and motivational strategies aimed at strengthening employees' sense of belonging.
In DERSA's gap analysis, the main differences between the current and desired situation we related to: excessive workload, lack of employee recognition, loss of young talent, a hostile workplace environment, imbalance between work and personal life. Now we are going to analyze the comparative graphs of the company Zaragoza and DERSA. These graphs show four important indicators: cycle time, defect rate, productivity, per employees, and employee turnover rate. First, in the bar graph, we can see that Zaragoza has a much higher productivity per employee, with a value of 140, while DERSA has 37. This means that Zaragoza produces more per worker. However, this high productivity is also related to long working hours, work overload, and physical exhaustion for employees. Regarding the defect rate, Zaragoza has 11.2, while DERSA has 1.89.
Continuing with the analysis, we examine staff turnover rate. Zaragoza presents a turnover of 35.2, while DERSA records 19 points. This demonstrates that employees at Zaragoza resign more frequently due to factors such as lack of recognition, poor working conditions, and contractual instability. Although DERSA also experiences turnover issues, the situation is less severe. When analyzing the pie charts, we observe that productivity per employee represents the largest percentage in both organizations. In DERSA, it accounts for 63.08%, while in Zaragoza, it represents 68.46%.
In conclusion, we may affirm that both Zaragoza and DERSA present issues primarily deriving from structural and human-related, coming short with the organization. This work follows us understand that company should not focus solely on achieving common economic objectives, but also on ensuring different working conditions, organization stable, and employer well-being.
Thank you for you very much.